Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the extraocular muscles. So, what is meant by extraocular muscles? Extraocular muscles are the muscles seen around the eyeball. See this diagram. This is our eyeball. Around the eyeball, we can see some muscles. See, these muscles are seen around the eyeball. Those muscles are known as extraocular muscles. So, today we are going to discuss about that extraocular muscles. What are the extraocular muscles? These extraocular muscles are classified into two categories: voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. First, voluntary muscles. What are the voluntary muscles? So we are having four recti muscles. Rectus means straight. So four straight muscles or four recti muscles. What are they? Superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, lateral rectus. Then two oblique muscles. Superior oblique, inferior oblique means four straight muscles and two oblique muscles. So it's easy to study. It is having four straight muscles and two oblique muscles. Then in addition to this six muscles, we are having one more muscle. Actually, it is not an extraocular muscle, even though we are discussing along with this extraocular muscles. It is a muscle of the palpebrae or eyelid. So what is the name of that muscle? Levator palpebrae superioris. Which elevates the upper eyelid. So it is called levator palpebrae superioris. So these are the muscles seen around the eyeball. Now we have to discuss the details of four recti muscles origin. These recti muscles arise from common tendinous ring. Common tendinous ring. And where it is seen, see this is what the orbit. Orbit is almost triangular in shape. Okay, it is almost triangular shaped orbit. So this is what the apex, this area, this is what the apex of the orbit. And this area we are considering this area as the base of the orbit. So almost triangular shape. So towards the apex there we can see one tendinous ring. See this white colored structure. So imagine this is what the tendinous ring. It is common for all the four rectus muscle. Okay, so that's why it's known as a common tendinous ring. So all the recti muscles like superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, and the lateral rectus, all the recti muscles arise from this common tendinous ring. From there, these muscles runs forward. Okay, superior rectus means we say the superior rectus first. Say from this common tendinous ring, superior rectus runs forward. Say this lowermost one, and it is inserted to the sclera. Now we know what is meant by sclera. So common tendinous origin from the common tendinous ring runs forward and inserted to the sclera, where behind the limbus. See, this is what the limbus or sclerocorneal junction. The sclerocorneal junction is otherwise known as the limbus. So it is inserted behind the limbus. So inserted to the sclera behind the limbus. Okay, superior rectus in the upper part. See, this one is the inferior rectus. Inferior rectus in the lower part. And here we can see the medial rectus. And this one, this is the cut end of the lateral rectus. These two are the two cut ends of the lateral rectus. We have removed a piece of the lateral rectus in order to see the medial rectus. So now here in this image we can see the medial rectus and the cut ends of the lateral rectus. So these are the four recti muscles we see. So, four recti muscles origin from common tendinous ring, insertion to the sclera behind the limbus. Okay. Now superior oblique muscle. Superior oblique muscle arises from the body of the sphenoid. Where? See, here, this is what the superior view of the orbit. Superior view means, see, this is a lateral view from the side. Okay, from here, that is what the superior view. So, this is what the superior oblique. First, you identify the superior oblique. See, this muscle. Okay, this is what the superior. And here comes the body of the sphenoid. Okay, so this muscle is arising on the side of the body. So anyway, it is arising from the body of the sphenoid. From there, it runs forward. First, it runs forward. Then it passes through a fibrous pulley. See, this is what the fibrous pulley. So it passes through the fibrous pulley. Then it turns laterally. See here, this is the lateral side. Here comes the nose. Then here comes another eyeball. Okay, so it runs towards the side, means laterally. So it passes through a fibrous pulley, then it turns laterally and backward and insert to the sclera behind the equator of the eyeball. Okay, so this is what the insertion. Let's say the insertion. The tendon of the superior. So origin is clear, it is arising from the body of the sphenoid. Then insertion, it is the tendon of the superior oblique passes through the fibrocartilaginous pulley attached to the trochlear fossa. Discuss. So it passes through the fibrous pulley. Then the tendon passes laterally downward and backward and inserted to the sclera behind the equator. So superior oblique is clear. Origin from the body of the sphenoid. From there it turns forward, passes through the fibrous pulley. Then it runs laterally and backward, inserted to the sclera of the eyeball. Now we are going to discuss about the inferior oblique. See, this one is the inferior oblique, which is seen below the eyeball. Okay, see, the inferior oblique arises from the orbital surface of the maxilla lateral to the lacrimal groove. What is meant by that? See here, this is what the maxilla. See, this upper part of the maxilla is seen here in the orbit, or which forms the floor of the orbit. That's why this area of the maxilla is known as orbital surface of the maxilla. Okay, it is directed towards the orbit. So anyway, this is what the orbital surface of the maxilla. And here we are having the lacrimal groove. Okay, so now it is correct. This muscle is arising from the orbital surface of the maxilla. From there it runs laterally towards the side now. It runs laterally and backward and inserted to the sclera. So origin is clear from the orbital surface of the maxilla. Then inferior oblique passes laterally upward and backward below the inferior rectus and inserted to the inserted close to the superior oblique. Okay, inserted to the sclera near to the superior oblique. The tool is also clear. See, so from the superior surface of the maxilla, or from the orbital surface of the maxilla, it runs laterally and inserted to the sclera, where near to the insertion of the superior oblique, or little bit below the insertion of the superior oblique. So that point is also clear. So superior oblique, inferior oblique. Then levator palpebrae superioris. See, origin, we'll say the origin. Levator palpebrae superioris arise from the orbital surface of the lesser wing of sphenoid. What is meant by that? See, the roof of the orbit. See, this is what the roof of the orbit. See, posterior part of the roof. This area of the roof is formed by lesser wing of sphenoid. Okay, so this levator palpebrae superioris. See this muscle. Okay, that muscle is, this diagram is not correct. This muscle is arising from this region. Okay, so orbital surface of lesser wing. See, this is what this area. This is what the lesser wing. So this area, inferior surface or orbital surface of the lesser wing. From here, this muscle runs forward, and it reaches the upper eyelid. That's why it's known as palpebrae, levator palpebrae. So, origin from the orbital surface of the lesser wing of sphenoid. An insertion. See, it is divided into superior lamina and inferior lamina. Okay, the inferior lamina is inserted to the upper margin of the superior tarsal plate, and the superior lamina is inserted into the anterior surface and the superior border of the superior tarsal plate. Okay, see, now this one is eyelid. Okay, and this is what tarsal plate. Tarsal plate means it's a piece of cartilage. Okay, so in the upper eyelid we are having the superior tarsal plate, and in the lower eyelid there we are having the inferior tarsal plate. So anyway, this is what the superior tarsal plate. Okay, so here this is what the levator palpebrae superioris. So here in the anterior part, this levator palpebrae superioris is dividing into one superior lamina and one inferior lamina. See, this inferior lamina is inserted into the superior border of the, or upper border of the superior tarsal plate. This is what the upper border. Okay, so it is inserted into the upper border. And the superior lamina, see, it is inserted into the skin and the anterior surface of the superior tarsal plate. See, it is inserted into the skin. This is what the skin. Okay, of the upper eyelid. This double red line represents the skin of the upper eyelid. So anyway, it is inserted into that skin as well as the anterior surface of the superior tarsal plate. So that is also clear. Okay, so it is inserted into anterior surface of the superior tarsal plate and the skin of the upper eyelid. That point is clear. Superior lamina. Then inferior lamina is inserted into the upper margin of the superior tarsal plate. So insertion is also clear. So levator palpebral superior seat once again, it is arising from the inferior surface of the lesser wing or orbital surface of the lesser wing. From there it runs forward. In the anterior part it is divided into two layers or two lamina, superior lamina and inferior lamina. Inferior lamina is inserted into the upper border of the tarsal plate, superior tarsal plate. Superior lamina is inserted into the skin and the anterior surface of the superior tarsal plate. Now, so those are the voluntary muscles. So what are the voluntary muscles? See the muscle is having four rectus or four straight muscles. What are the superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, lateral rectus? This naming is based on the position. See, superior rectus means it lies above the eyeball, correct? No? So this is for the superior rectus. Inferior rectus means it lies below the eyeball. The medial rectus means medial to the eyeball, lateral rectus lateral to the eyeball. Okay. Two oblique muscles, superior oblique and inferior oblique. This naming is also based on the position. So superior oblique which lies above the eyeball and inferior oblique which lies below the eyeball. Okay. Then levator palpebrae superioris. Okay, levator is the name. It elevates palpebrae superioris. Palpebrae means eyelid, superioris means upper eyelid. Okay. So details of these muscles. Now involuntary muscles. What are the involuntary muscles? This name is superior tarsal muscle. Actually, superior tarsal muscle means it's a part of the levator palpebrae superioris. Okay, it's a part of levator palpebrae superioris, which is inserted into the which elevates the upper eyelid. So superior tarsal muscle. Okay, then inferior tarsal muscle. That is arising from that inferior oblique and inferior rectus. Okay, that depresses the lower eyelid. And orbitalis which bridges the inferior orbital fissure. See here. Here we can see the inferior tarsal muscle. Then so here this is the inferior orbital fissure. And here this gap is filled with not filled. The bridge of the bridge is bridged by a muscle. This gap is bridged by a muscle. That means a inferior orbitalis muscle. So anyway, those are the three muscles. So what are the three involuntary muscles? Superior tarsal muscle. Okay, then inferior tarsal muscle, then orbitalis muscle. So that's all about the origin and the insertion of these extraocular muscles. Now supply. So it is superior oblique is supplied by trochlear nerve. Trochlear it is a fourth cranial nerve, so it's easy to remember SO4. Okay, SO4 means superior oblique is supplied by fourth cranial nerve, trochlear nerve. Then lateral rectus is supplied by the abducens nerve, which is the sixth cranial nerve, LR6. Okay, so for LR6. Then remaining all muscles are supplied by ocular nerve. Now we can frame a equation SO for LR6 remaining 3. Okay, SO4 means superior oblique is supplied by the fourth cranial nerve. Then LR6 lateral rectus is supplied by the sixth cranial nerve. Then all other muscles are supplied by the third cranial nerve. So SO4 LR6 remaining 3. Okay. Now action. Action of these muscles. See, this diagram will help you to explain the actions of these muscles. See, here comes the nose. Look, this is the medial side of the eyeball. See, this round, this is represents the eyeball. This will be the iris, then pupil. Okay. So this is the medial side of the eyeball. This is the lateral side of the eyeball. In the medial side, you have to write the medial rectus. In the lateral side, you have to write the lateral rectus. Then medial side, in the upper part, superior rectus, and the lower part, inferior rectus. Okay, then in the lateral side, in the upper part, see, keep it in mind, inferior oblique. Inferior oblique, in the lower part, superior oblique. Okay, now From this diagram, you can explain. See, superior rectus, this arrow is towards the nose. See here comes the nose, means towards the midline. So it attacks the eyeball. So listen once again. See, it is towards the midline. See, here comes the midline. So this arrow represents the movement towards the midline, means it attacks the eyeball. This arrow, upward arrow, represents elevation of the eyeball. So superior rectus attacks and elevates. Then this is a rotatory movement known as intorsion. Okay, intorsion means it is a medial side rotatory movement. If it is towards the lateral side, it is much extorsion. So superior rectus, these three movements: elevation of the eyeball, adduction of the eyeball, then intorsion of the eyeball. Medial rectus only adduction, lateral rectus abduction, away from the midline. That movement is a abduction. See, like that, inferior rectus, depression, downward movement, depression of the eyeball, then adduction of the eyeball, then extorsion of the eyeball, lateral rotation. Okay, that is what the extorsion of the eyeball. Now we'll see the superior and inferior oblique muscle. Inferior oblique, elevation, abduction. See, this is what the extorsion. In superior oblique, depression, abduction, then intorsion. We'll see superior oblique, depression, abduction, intorsion. You have to compare with that diagram. Inferior oblique, elevation, abduction, extorsion. Inferior rectus, depression, adduction, extorsion. Superior rectus, elevation, adduction, intorsion. Medial rectus, adduction, lateral rectus, adduction. So abduction. Okay. So those are the movements. Then clinical anatomy, weakness of this muscle, tissue, strabismus, or the skin. The remaining details of the extraocular muscles will that you have to read. These are the main points of this extraocular muscles. Okay, thank you.